A challenge in the Cauldron train yard. Fine, Nigma. I'll play your games, and I'll win. Selina's life depends on it.
You know anything about religion? I was always told to make the sign of the cross after I whack someone, you know, out of respect. Just asking. So has the man taken care of these Arkham Knight punks yet?
Detective, you arrived! I thought Catwoman's little predicament might encourage your participation. I realized, you see, that the kind of image-obsessed narcissist who places bat symbols on his hubcaps would never willingly submit himself to the kind of humiliation I have in store. Yet, here you are, Detective. The humiliation is waiting below. Well then, Detective, it begins. You are staring, with stupefied incomprehension, at a mechanism I have calibrated to respond to an extremely precise radar pulse. In a moment, I will give you the decrypted code, Dark Knight. Oh, but first, I think we should run through the ground rules for tonight's festivities. Rule the first. You will address me at all times as Riddler, the Riddler, or Mr. Nigma, sir. What? How did you solve tonight's very first riddle? Well done. Well done. Welcome to my racetrack, Detective. You must complete 3 circuits of this gauntlet, finishing each before the time limit expires.
No point getting out. Riddler's plan involves the car.
That grotesque ego-mobile to the test. Be ready, Dark Knight. There's more to this test than just going vroom, vroom really fast. Tick-tock, Detective, tick-tock. Can that ramshackle motor handle this? Dark Knight, faster! Can those flickering, faltering synapses keep up with my automatically adjusting course?
I'm disabling the afterburner's failsafe. I need the extra speed.
I'm shocked, Dark Knight. Is that really as fast as it goes? That undeveloped brain of yours. Dark Knight, don't waste my time. It's several times more precious than yours. Once more onto the track, Dark Knight. Once more! Now pay Attention, detective. Go left. Oh, detective, what's that I hear? Is it time's winged chariot hurrying near? You're close, detective. Don't fumble now. Don't fumble now. Hurry up, detective. You stand marginally more of a chance of succeeding if you actually begin. Relax, Dark Knight. The ordeal is over. Such a pity the laws of physics prohibit me from testing my non-Euclidean designs. Now then, detective, hop on the pressure pad beside me. Listen carefully, Dark Knight. Your friend's life depends on it. Back in the orphanage, a series of glass cabinets have appeared in front of Catwoman. Isn't that right, my dear?
I see them, Eddie.
Good. One of those cabinets, my dear, has your first key inside. The others, they contain less useful keys. Keys that will unlock the admittedly slight contents of your skull all over the orphanage walls. Your job, detective, is simple. Figure out which cabinet Catwoman must open. And don't get it wrong.
Kill me. One of them. Okay, Batman. Let's see if you're as smart as they say. One down.
Well done to the pair of you. That's the first key collected. Don't expect to be sinking your claws into too many more. Too many more. Did you really believe that a challenge designed by me, the Riddler, would be quite so easy? Oh, Dark Knight, you sweet, naive sentinel, of course it wouldn't. But now I have several hundred terabytes of performance data relating to the latest model of rocket-powered hearse you're driving. With that in mind, I have prepared for you something a little less knuckle-whitening and rather more brow-furrowing in Chinatown. Hurry on over, detective, or it won't be curiosity that kills the cat.
Whatever Riddler's built beneath Chinatown, it's not going to stop me.
Oh God, what's he doing? What's he doing? He's tailing us. Keep driving. Run!
Well, Dark Knight, eager for more? It's humbling, isn't it? The opportunity to even glimpse my greatness, the dawning realization of just how insignificant, how unworthy of note you really are? These trials are my masterpieces, detective. When I have defeated you, they will become monuments to my genius. Testaments to your stupidity. Crowds of school children will pack themselves in this elevator, eager to see for themselves the place where the Dark Knight was defeated. They won't understand a thing, of course, but they'll come. Trial so elegantly simple that even you should manage a feeble grasp of the premise. You must provide power to this board, Detective. Admit it, Batman. I am unbeatable. You know, Dark Knight, on balance, I don't think you're going to figure this out. Oh no, Batman. It seems you're far too attached to that fancy tank of yours to solve this one. This isn't just a test of intelligence, Dark Knight. It's a test of skill. Upside down, Dark Knight? Really? Upside down, Dark Knight? Really? detective. Your true calling as a third-rate circus stuntman becomes clearer by the day. Congratulations, Dark Knight. You've earned the right to play the next part of the puzzle. Head over to the board.
Oh, joy. Time to play the Will My Head Explode game again.
Can you trust him, Catwoman? Can you trust? Ready to die, my dear?
You'd better be right, Batman. Head still attached? Great. Collar still attached? Not so great.
Congratulations! You've achieved the very minor victory of not being as stupid as you look. Not stupid as you look. Now, Catwoman, celebrate your survival by telling Batman all about the exciting orphanage development. Celebrate orphanage development.
No, you do it.
Now, Kitty. Kitty.
Why, Batman, there's a big, mysterious green door.
Yes, there is. Come back to the orphanage, Batman, and I'll let the pair of you through it. Well done, Dark Knight. You should, I hope, be beginning to comprehend the breadth of the tasks ahead of you, the sheer scale of the gauntlet I have thrown down. Or perhaps not. Perhaps you're feeling cocky. Perhaps these early victories have filled you with false hope. Well then, ride that wave of smug satisfaction all the way back to the orphanage. I'm waiting. Orphanage.
Selina's still trapped in the orphanage. Enigma's got something in store for us both when I get there.
Flatness! Move! I'm going! We can take the bad. You know how many guerrilla fighters I've killed? He's no different. Just got better gear. Jeez, he's coming after us! For it! Come on, get us out of here! What's with all the green question mark crap around the place? Some sort of citywide art festival? Pretty damn pretentious, if you ask me.
Welcome back to the Riddletorium. Do not fear. Your friend has not been harmed. Before I allow you to see her, however, riddle me this. Riddle me this. What kind of question can only be asked upon reflection? Good luck. No, Dark Knight, you're way off the mark. The mark. Close, but it's not quite on the dot. Dot. Almost there, Batman. But you haven't quite made my mark. Well, it seems you have earned the right to see your friend. Why, she'll be as surprised as I am that you've made it this far.
Oh, good. You're back. Eddie wouldn't show me whatever deranged parlor game he's got waiting behind that door until you arrived.
I'll get you out of here.
I'm sorry, do I seem testy? It's probably something to do with the gorgeous necklace Eddie picked out for me. Have you seen it? It explodes.
Oh, I do hope you two are getting along. Because you'll need to work together if you want to find the key hidden in here. Find the key.
Well, this looks creepy. Someone's been reading Feng Shui for serial killers. Oh, great. Extra trapped. As if the collar wasn't enough.
Oh, Batman, Catwoman, neither of you is getting out of there without the other's help.
Oh, look. It's more of Eddie's homemade friends.
Your mockery is pointless, Cat. I don't have any friends at all. Well, there we go. It's settled. You're not quite as dumb as each other. Congratulations, Catwoman. Batman, you're lagging behind. Oh, Dark Knight. I can barely describe to you what a pleasure it is to see your brow furrow over the simplest of conundrums. I do apologize for not creating a riddle that you can merely pound into submission. Here, why don't you take out your primitive frustrations on my automated assistants? Well then, it seems you've earned another key.
This is going to take all night, isn't it?
We need the key first.
least I got to hit something.
How are you holding up?
I'm fine. I don't need your concern. Just your help getting this thing off.
I wouldn't celebrate just yet, you two. Dark Knight, my next challenge can be found beneath Elliott Memorial Hospital. Conveniently located for when you pass out due to mental exhaustion.
Mental exhaustion.
Riddler's next trial's in Bristol. He's losing Alfred, and that makes him dangerous.
Perhaps the real challenge is tolerating his relentless, self-aggrandizing commentary.
Back up! He's gonna get us! No chance! Got our order. Leave the riddle guy alone. But he's got robots, man!
The preliminaries are done with, Dark Knight. I hope you understand that. Oh, had I so wished, you'd have failed before you had even begun to comprehend the very first hurdle. But no, no, no. I wanted you to know the full extent of my brilliance, you understand? To fully appreciate my superiority. But now, well, I'm not going easy on you anymore. Another racetrack detective, but please, do not let its unique peculiarities crush your spirit. Well, shall we begin? No, Dark Knight, you are not losing what little grip you had on reality. You merely entered a brave new world of my design. Where did you learn how to drive? I control these. That ceiling applies 300 dead bats of pressure, Detective. I invented the measurement myself. I built this course in a sewer, Detective. You needed the home team advantage. Onward, Batman! Or does the Dark Knight require a pit stop? Very good, Dark Knight! Again! Careful now, Batman. You didn't go to all the trouble of painting that thing just the right shade of black in order to scuff it. Is it a car? Is it a tank? Who cares? Soon it'll be scrap. Do you even know what a racing line is? That's it. I'm cranking it up. 500 dead bats of pressure. You know, I think the wheels on that thing might actually be as thick as your skull. Feeling claustrophobic, detective? Get ready for the final lap. What a fitting end for you, detective. A stain on my floor. You'll be crushed, flattened, pulverized. Any second now. I can see it, detective. You're miscalculating corners, swerving through straights. Careful, detective. I'd like the car to be working when I'm done with you. It's time. 1,000 dead bags of pressure. No, Batman, you can't drive through solid objects. It's really basic physics. A failure. You're too slow, Dark Knight. In every sense of the word. Several tons of metal slamming down upon you, Dark Knight. You may wish to avoid it. If you can't understand the intellectual virtues of completing this trial, Batman, I'm not going to explain it to you. Or if you prefer, that Roman knockoff Mercury. Aren't things clearer now that insane clown has been disposed of? Now you know who your real nemesis is. Oh, you incompetent boy racer. Another lap would be the end of you, Dark Knight, and I can't quite bring myself to stop the fun so soon. Your next key awaits.
Oh, good. The fun part.
Which cabinet, kitty cat?
And here we go.
Congratulations, Catwoman. You proved yourself able to follow simple directions. I must say, Dark Knight, that your desperate fumblings have exceeded my admittedly rather meager expectations. I am impressed. This must be how naturalists felt upon observing chimpanzees using tools for the first time. Did you know, Detective, that the cleverest chimps can even obey simple instructions? It's true. Let's try it, shall we? Go to Gotham Casino for your next test, and I'll give you a banana.
Giant plants burst out of the ground. I thought Gotham would be easy pickings tonight.
Detective, I can't tell you how pleased I am that you're playing along with my little game. You literally cannot imagine what it's like to be so intellectually removed from the rest of the human race. I couldn't honestly say you offer me a battle of wits, Dark Knight, but your feeble resistance makes a pleasant change from the instant capitulation of everyone else. Oh dear, Dark Knight. What a pity you couldn't bring the Batwing to this one. Hurry along, Dark Knight. This isn't rocket science. Stumped, Dark Knight? I can see your brain flying through the possibilities. Come now, Dark Knight. Don't force me to eject you from the chamber.
Eject from the chamber.
Since you insist on dressing like a flying rat, I thought I'd put those abilities to the test. The only mammal capable of flight. Since all you do is glide, you're actually a variety of squirrel. Contrary to popular belief, very few bats survive on blood. Most species subsist on insects, whereas you prefer to live off undeserved praise. Creatures known to prey on bats include owls, some spiders, falcons, and, oh yes, of course, me. It must feel wonderful, Detective, floating majestically over a city filled with your minute inferiors. Much like being me. How does that cake work? Cake-shaped memory fibers? Some sort of collapsible harness? An arrogant insistence that the laws of gravity do not apply to you? Literally as capable as the digit-flapping mammal you pointlessly pretend to be. The next key awaits you.
I can't leave now. I have to help Selina choose the right key.
More cabinets. Great. I love this part.
Oh, this is too tense to watch. Thank goodness I'm recording it for posterity. Thank goodness.
Okay. Time to possibly maybe die. Well, this is not how I wanted to spend my night.
Another key collected. I trust you're not giving her false hope, Detective.
Oh, good. More fun.
Well, Dark Knight Detective, you have passed another test. I cannot help but admire the spirit with which you have thrown yourself into a task for which you are woefully under-equipped. I almost feel guilty when I contemplate what's coming, but not so guilty that I'm going to call it off. Head back to the orphanage, Detective. Another of my riddle rooms is waiting.
I'm going back to the orphanage. Selena's waiting.
I can only imagine what cruel game Mr. Nigma has in store for you and Miss Kyle.
How are you doing?
Can't fault the entertainment. Eddie just lectured me on the 13 innovations that let him pack this collar with his custom-designed plastic explosive.
You must be honored.
At being what? Your motivation? Come on, the next puzzle room is waiting.
I hope the varying amounts of pressure don't get to you.
Another one? What's Eddie's problem?
Fanatic narcissism, egocentrism, and megalomania, crossed with severe obsessive compulsion.
Thanks.
Don't mention it. Counterweights move further when I step on the pads.
You are getting older. Maybe it's time to add a few extra notches to the utility belt. Hey, don't shove.
Congratulations to the dementedly dressed duo. Your key awaits. Oh, but what's this? An electrified floor?
You do it. You still owe me for Arkham City.
Goodness, you figured it out already. Well, meet the second generation of my android allies. I've built a variant specifically tailored to each of your dubious abilities.
Leave the blue ones to me. Leave the blue ones to me.
There's more where that came from, Batman. I built a highly efficient line.
I'll take the red ones.
All the danger of battle combined with all the fun of riddle solving. You can thank me after. Thank you. You know what, Detective? I'm glad you solved this riddle. Because it takes you one step closer to the riddle that kills you.
Riddle that kills you.
Eddie really hates you, doesn't he?
He's an ego-driven narcissist who can't let anyone else win.
Gee, if only you'd met under different circumstances.
His obsession's getting worse. He's going after my allies.
Ally? After this, I think we should dial it back to known associate for a while.
This was nothing, Dark Knight, nothing. A new trial awaits you, Detective, by Divinity Church, and I'm waiting too.
I'm headed to Divinity Church. Riddler won't give up, Alfred. His pride won't let him.
You'll break his spirit, sir. I've every confidence.
Nice driving, idiot. He's right there. Just go! You wanna take the wheel?
Get to the car! Run!
The unexamined life is not worth living, Detective, and I've been wondering why I let you aggravate me so. You're a cheat and a liar. A dressed-up strongman playing with expensive toys. World's greatest detective, ha! And everyone from Gotham to Star City believes it. I cannot abide a fraud detective, a dilettante masquerading amongst his intellectual betters, stealing every last scrap of appreciation, dignity, and respect. Welcome, Detective, to the drain I'm going to figuratively and quite possibly literally flush you down. The goal of this aquatic examination could not be simpler, Detective. Lower the water like so. Before that, however, it's time for a riddle. Riddle me this, Detective. What do bats do when they're at home? That's one Batman. The water might be lower, but you're still out of your depth. Look at you, detective. Hanging there in that hideous machine like a particularly ugly chandelier. Don't leave me hanging, detective. The answer is right above your nose. Your nose. You know, detective, if I'd rigged that grapple point to detach, you could be dead in a moment. But where would the satisfaction be in that? You will be your own downfall, detective. I have no doubt. Another switch? Why, the water is almost as low as Catwoman's chances of freedom. Why don't you celebrate with my friends? I wanted you to destroy the robot. I did. It's all part of my immaculately constructed master plan. So there. I seem to have scratched your car. I'd swap insurance details, but I expect you'll be dead by morning. Don't think I haven't been tempted by a cheap trick and a quick death, detective. But no, I will beat you fairly. I will let you test yourself against me and laugh as you fall short. Struggling, detective? I'm afraid you're running several minutes behind my projections. Ah! This is why my projections were off. I failed to consider both your incompetence and your stupidity as two distinct variables. Apologies, detective. I will recalculate post-haste. Excellent. You are barely keeping up to the precise degree my equations predict. Careful on your way out.
Hey, Eddie. Can't we play a different game? This one's getting old.
Good luck, Catwoman. Given Batman's limited intelligence, I'm afraid you're going to need...
Here's hoping Eddie hasn't started cheating. And they say black cats are bad luck.
Another key. Well done. Of course, you'll lose all 9 lives in an instant should I push this detonator.
Another door unlocked. What a surprise.
I have always been the smartest man in the room, Detective, forced to endure the suspicions and mockery of those whose meager mental faculties prohibited them from appreciating that fact. And then you appear in Gotham, dressing up your cognitive capabilities, marginally superior as they are to that of the average hoodlum, in the guise of a crusading hero. And oh, how the people swooned. To the orphanage, hero! It's time to rejoin Catwoman for another trial.
Selina's still trapped at the orphanage. Together, we'll get her out.
Batman! He's got a friggin' tank! Oh, God. Come on, get us out of here! He's on our tail! Outrun that thing! Run! Get away from him! Run! This place is gonna have more plant life than a nature reserve. We'll be the endangered species.
You're back.
I said I'd get you out of here.
I know. It's just... nothing. Let's get to the next room, okay? Before my head explodes.
Favorite comedy double act. I'd just like to say what a novelty it's been constructing riddle chambers for 2 half-wits instead of 1. Why, that's practically a whole wit between you. Dark Knight, when you failed your feline friend and are done mourning over her headless corpse, perhaps we'll do this again with, Robin? Or maybe that prodigal son of yours over in Bloodhaven.
The gap in the wall? I could reach it with a pounce.
Can you get up there?
The ceiling? Easy.
Riddle me this. Can a maze still a maze if it doesn't have walls? Did that hurt, Catwoman? Good. That pain is what stupidity feels like.
Oh, Eddie, you're going to feel very, very stupid when I catch up with you.
Oh, come now, Detective. I really couldn't be shining more of a light upon the problem.
You know, I had to disable a security system like this when I robbed Queen Industry. Never mind.
Halfway there. Now for a final twist.
Nearly there, Selina.
Done on this side.
Okay, done over here.
Congratulations. And now your reward. Robot. Fine. The key. Take the key. I suppose you just about earned it.
When I get out of here, I'm sticking this collar around Eddie's neck.
Well, how clever the pair of you must feel. How smug. Well, I hate to intrude upon this miserable little moment of victory, but I wanted you to be aware you're very unlikely to see one another again. Catwoman, the Batman will fail you, because waiting for him beneath Ranelagh Ferry Terminal is my greatest trial.
Batman, are we?
Don't let what Riddler said get to you.
Eddie is an idiot. But he's an idiot who built a series of underground...
Ranelagh Ferry Terminal. Okay, Riddler. This game ends now.
I got my new identity ready. I don't care about the money, so long as they don't track me down. No way you're catching me going anywhere.
This is it, Dark Knight. We're done. Well, you're done for, at least. I must admit that I'm feeling quite charitable at the moment of my triumph. So I will give you a choice. Rather than carry on towards your humiliation and death, I will simply let you drive away in return for a signed statement testifying towards my superior intelligence and conceding that I have utterly checkmated you. Oh, the cat will remain a hostage, of course. A symbol of your failure. My, you're actually going to attempt it. Very well. But this is my finest work, detective. My masterpiece, my Enigma Resistance. So, let us take that inexplicably life-size children's toy for its final drive. This is it, Dark Knight. Your Teutoburg, your Bay of Pigs, your ultimate defeat. That's it, detective. Drive faster, drive headlong into defeat. Behold your doom. What? Impossible! That cannot be! You should have fallen to your death. I calculated the curvature precisely. I've got the equations right here. I don't understand. How are you still alive? Oh, of course. You got lucky, didn't you? It was luck. Luck! The kindly lifeguard of the idiot. I can hardly factor luck into my equations now, can I? I'm not a homeopath. This isn't possible! This isn't happening! I am the Riddler, and you shall not defeat me! Dark Knight, don't waste my time. It's several times more precious than yours. Since you cannot even be counted on to kill yourself, I will do it for you. I'm controlling the mechanisms now.
Controlling mechanism.
You'll make a mistake. Of course you will. I know you will. Wrong way, Dark Knight. Don't tell me I need to hover in front of you waving a flag to get you to turn around. Hurry up, Detective. You stand marginally more of a chance of succeeding if you actually begin. Oh no, you've lost. What's wrong? Can't cope when I set a time limit? Can't cope. Time limit? If you're feeling vainglorious enough for another attempt, Dark Knight, you must trundle back to the start of the course. Don't be ashamed to have failed, Detective. This isn't a racetrack. It's an immaculately constructed work of art. It is perfection. I want you to know, Detective, that I'm recording all your attempts at this for posterity. And for my social media presence, of course. Goodbye. Stop not dying! Dark Knight, don't waste my time. It's several times more precious than yours. Too slow, Detective, too slow. For a second there, I was almost concerned. Come on, Detective. Back to the start of the course. Back to the start of the course. Don't worry, Detective. You have until dawn. Not that it'll make any difference. Faster than that. Like Hermes! Or if you prefer, that Roman knockoff Mercury. Hurry up, Detective. You stand marginally more of a chance of succeeding if you actually begin. You did it. You did it. The key. Now you collect the key.
Okay, almost there.
And I have to follow the rules, don't I? I set them after all. Which cabinet, kitty cat?
Kitty cat.
And here we go. Oh, that's it. No more.
Congratulations, Catwoman. You are now free. Free to take my final exam.
To take my
Final exam.
Eddie, I didn't know you'd started cheating. I'm disappointed.
I dissemble. I artfully obfuscate. But I do not cheat. As you and Batman will discover when you attempt my final riddle room. Riddle room. Do you have a photographic memory, Detective? Because I do. I can summon your sneering features at will. That is when they don't burst unbidden into my brain. I have perfect recall, too. I can remember every time you've hurt me. Sometimes I wake up, Dark Knight, to the feel of your hands around my neck, your carbon fiber-coated fists smashing into my solar plexus. How dare you brutalize me? Me! Your intellectual superior. You're better. Me, Edward Nygma, the Riddler, and the world's greatest everything. You're a thug, Detective, a bullying emblem of the arrogant notion that might makes right. Come back to the orphanage, where I will end you and the unjust things you stand for.
Now's my chance to free Selina from the orphanage. This sick game has gone on long enough.
Agreed, sir. Best of luck.
Oh, crap, he's coming after us! For it! Dead bodies, tanks, mass evacuations. I love Gotham at night.
How have you been?
Perfect. Eddie hasn't said a word since you left that last course. Do you ever rub people the right way? This is it. One last hoop to jump through, then I'm free to rob Gotham blind. I mean, you know, make sure everyone got out. I'll check the art galleries first.
No, Dark Knight, you're way off the mark. The mark. Meet the Riddle Square, a puzzle which draws influence from both late 20th century puzzle cubes and mid-15th century torture devices.
If Eddie wanted us to play a game of life-size chess, he could have left us more pieces.
I don't think that was the idea.
I'll be heading home then, Eddie?
There'll be a way in.
Riddle me this. How can you play my game when you've already been barred?
Play my.
Perhaps you're looking at this conundrum the wrong way. You can't go through it, children. And no, you cannot tunnel under it either.
We need to stop some of the cubes from moving when I fire the charge.
I'm guessing that'd be my job.
Can you find a way in?
Congratulations! Now let's cut to the best part.
Selina, watch out! Get ready!
a riddle, Eddie? Seriously.
You get used to it.
Ah! Beginner's luck. Let's intensify proceedings. You will not win this!
I did it! I actually did it! I mean, of course I did. Good. As expected.
Damn him. How is that a riddle, Eddie? Seriously.
You get used to it.
Ah! Beginner's luck. Let's intensify proceedings.
We need to stop some of the cubes from moving when I fire the charge.
I'm guessing that'd be my job.
You will not win this!
It's still not a riddle, Eddie.
You just haven't figured it out yet.
This is it. This is the end. The final riddle.
done. Keys by the entrance. Let's go.
You smooth talker, you. Give me a second to compose myself.
You can leave anytime.
I knew that. I just like dodging the saw blade. Would you do the honors? You know what the worst thing about this was? It looked cheap. Well, Hanson, what are we waiting for? So is it just Central Gotham that's evacuated? Or are the mansions empty too?
Scarecrow threatened the entire city, Selina.
And it's such a tragedy. You go save the day, and I'll make sure Bruce Wayne locked his doors.
Good luck with that.
I can't leave Nigma at large. I'll find his trophies and put him behind bars.
Cheater! You fraud! Bumbling amateur! Look what you have reduced me to, Batman! If you cannot simply bow down when confronted with your obvious superior, then I will stoop to your pathetic pugilistic level and take you! I designed this thing to perfectly defend myself against your violent excesses. So please understand, Dark Knight.
Don't feel left out!
This is an intellectual victory above all. Too hard for you? I'll subtract you from this equation.
Keep them coming!
Which color do you prefer? Who's strong now? This is beneath me. You are beneath me. You want to finish this, detective? Then you must earn the privilege. Solve every last riddle in this city and I'll fight you, Batman, but not a moment before.
Or we could just leave you down there, Eddie. Come on, Batman. This cat wants to prowl. I've been cooped up all night, Handsome. We're leaving. Ah, fresh air, freedom, and darkness. Perfect. How shall we celebrate? I know a couple of poor, defenseless museums. But then again, I also know a couple of hotels.
Tonight's not over yet. There's more work to be done.
Of course there is. You do know how to kill the mood. Do you ever take the night off? Do you ever take the suit off?
Not on nights like this, Selina. It's what I do.
Fine. I guess I'll hit an art gallery or two, while the big bad bat's distracted.
You're not going to thank me?
Why? It's what you do.
You'll fight me if I find your trophies? Fine, Enigma. I'll hold you to it.
Reminder of your own stupidity.